family. How important is psychology, understanding, identifying, and manipulating the targets as well?
I think there's almost nothing more important, especially the more scientific and technology-based we become as a human race. For me, psychology is not just about survival instincts or how you perceive your landscape. It's also the emotional aspects of it too. We don't talk a lot about emotion and technology and emotion and security, but yet we are full of emotion. Like, that's what makes us humans. One of the hardest things to do is to break the cycle of mirror imaging. So for example, I'm not a terrorist, a member of a Red Army faction or anything. I have no loyalty to those kinds of thinking, but I have to understand that kind of thinking in order to be able to prevent, recruits to anticipate what my target's next action, next move might be. Having to think about an insider as a threat, it's hard because it is dark. You have to think the worst of somebody, and you might have to think the worst of somebody that you work with or like. I'm always reminded of Sandy Grimes, who was one of the women who helped identify Aldrich Ames. The fact that at one point she and Aldrich Ames were carpooled. I mean, not only did they work on the same team, they were, going back and forth in the car together. And how hard it is to be that close to somebody and then find out how much they have betrayed you and the organization and the people that you work with and have sworn to protect. In order to anticipate and get ahead of someone that you already know is a threat, you really have to understand their psychology. You have to understand their lived experience. A lot of people say, oh, terrorists are not rational actors. They are rational actors. They're rational within their own world perspective. That is what happens with insiders too. They begin to rationalize their actions, create their own narrative of I'm worth more than this. Everything they do from there is rational from that perspective. One of my favorite examples of that is Benedict Arnold. Was a very good friend and loyal to George Washington. He had this narrative of he wasn't being appreciated, and you have to break the mirror imaging. And only when you do that can you speak to where they are if you want to try to move them to a different place. You cannot come in from somewhere in outer space. You have to be right there, right next to where their experience is so that it resonates with them. I don't really think of it as manipulation as much as it is influence, but people call it different things.
Yes.